Have you ever thought to yourself, absolutely hate coding? Well, Avery, who we're interviewing today, went from hating code to being a co-founder and CTO at his own startup. So let's check him out. I'm really interested in how you learned coding. What got you interested in it? Can you tell me the story behind that?
Yeah, so it's kind of a funny story. I basically started coding, I'd say going into seventh grade. So I guess I was maybe 11 or 10 at the time. It started with my friend's dad is a software engineer for Raytheon. And I was like, hey, or he came to me, he's like, hey, let's try coding. And I was like, no. But for some reason he convinced me. So we basically both went on to Code Academy. At that time, Code Academy had like JavaScript, HTML, and jQuery. We started it. I hated it, but I'm a really competitive person. So I'm like, I'm going to do all the courses before you do. I started with Minecraft. So it was actually you're making worlds and stuff. But like, I love, like, coding for me is like an art. Like, I love coding architecture and data structures and data design and just making sure your code's really pretty. And then this pretty code will turn into something also very pretty. If it's a website, if it's an app, even a server, it's like magic. You're basically writing down something on a computer and bringing life to the screen or to a phone or to a server even. So I kind of fell in love with the magic of coding and the magic of creating things. And I think that kind of I got like a full-time job freshman year of high school doing Minecraft, and that really emphasized my kind of love for coding because, I was working like 50 hours a week after school, and it was, the worst thing I could have done. I went from getting like B's to like D's and almost failing classes, and my teachers were having conferences with my parents saying, "Hey, like I think there's something wrong with your kid." But in reality, I was working 50 plus hours a week, like going from 3 o'clock to 1 a.m. coding, you know, Minecraft server for like a pretty big Minecraft server, getting paid like serious money. And I really fell in love with coding, kind of the kind of building mindset. I was building stuff. I was learning so much. I literally had no clue what I was doing, but I was having so much fun learning. And the best part about it was kind of building something and then pushing it and seeing people interact with the product. That was like a high that, I can't describe. And I'm still kind of chasing that high. Like it's funny because a lot of my friends in high school were like getting high and actually getting drunk while I was in my mom's basement, coding Minecraft servers, kind of the nerdiest thing you could think of. But I loved it, and like I look back on those years really fondly.
Tell me a little bit more about how you got into startups and what happened there.
Probably a few months into this full-time job, I got approached by a friend of my friend who basically said, "Hey, I need to, I have this idea for it was like a movie pass for nightlife. So basically, people would pay $10 a month to get a free drink at a bar every night." And I was like, "Hey, that seems like a cool product. I don't really have that many side projects going on." So we basically, me and him partnered up. We started making that product. We made that product. It actually bootstrapped the product we our company right now. But we kind of got to a point on that product and we're like, hey, this product is doing okay. It's really hard to sell to people. It's really hard to keep our customer. The churn rate's really high. And the market isn't big enough. So we need to pivot. So we started this product probably in 2017. And in 2018, we're like, late 2018, we're like, we need to pivot to another product. So we pivoted to this online ordering loyalty system for coffee shops. So like imagine like the Starbucks app. So we basically went to coffee shops. We have a very big network of of restaurants because my co-founder had worked in the field, and we had restaurant products before that. And so we sat down and said, hey, we want to interview 10 different types of restaurants and ask them questions like, how do you guys make money? What software do you guys use? What are some pain points? What are some things that you guys want solved that isn't being done right now? So we basically sat down, got 10 hours of film. We put it on my TV in my mom's basement, and we basically watched this like highlight reel and basically tried to figure out what the need was and what a product we could kind of make and pivot to was. And this product was kind of like a all-in-one solution for restaurants that does everything from like online ordering, mobile ordering, point of sale, to scheduling payroll, inventory management. So the main thing that we did is that we worked so close to all of our partners. So we started making this product, I think, like I said, end of 2019, and then we were starting to pilot it in the early 2020. And the big thing that kind of made our customers trust us, and like we literally had this terrible product on like a terrible Amazon tablet for a point of sale. But the thing that made our customers really trust us is that we actually had um, we actually cared about their opinion and we cared about their feedback. What would happen is that at this time I'm still working full time for my other job, so that I'd wake up at 9, Jack would wake up at 6. Jack would go to the coffee shop and would run the product side by side with their current system, asking for feedback, trying it out. If something goes wrong, they can switch back to their other system. But Jack would stay there from like 7 to when they close. And I would get off my full time job at 6 p.m. And basically, Jack and I would regroup. We'd see what we have to change to the product. Then from 6 p.m. to like 5 a.m., I'd basically code all those changes, add the new features, fix the bugs, add the features they wanted in the feedback, and then rinse and repeat. Go to sleep for a few hours. Jack would go back in the shop. He would start testing with them. And so for, I think, 3 months, we basically did that kind of really fast iteration of, hey, we're sitting in the shop, we're getting real time feedback, and we're building the product based on what those people say. And that's a really big thing that we learned at YC is that you want to make products that people actually want, not products that you think people want.
That's amazing. And so you were iterating over the product, you got into YC, that sort of just boosted your energy for the product, and I'm guessing just the movement of the product. And where's the product at now? And what have you learned from all of it?
The product now is in a really good place. We are, from startup YC, we were doing, you know, tens of thousands of dollars in monthly volume, and now we're doing millions of dollars in monthly volume, which is kind of crazy going from, where we started to where we are now. And, since the beginning, it's kind of just been me, Jack, and now we're actually starting to hire new people. So it's really interesting, as a 22-year-old now, like starting to hire people that are older than you and, trying to like vet out candidates. And like, it's a lot of really interesting things to learn. And like I said, like, I love learning new things and like the pursuit of knowledge and just, it's so many things that like startups, you're just constantly learning, constantly innovating, constantly or iterating. And so I've really learned a lot of really cool skills. I don't know how many times we've been yelled at, how many times our servers have been on fire and things are broken. And the biggest thing you need to like just remember is like, all right, stay calm. Just what is wrong. Look at it very abstractly. Like, what's wrong? How do I fix it? How to go from here? What my therapist says, spiraling out of control and just going down a rabbit hole of like, oh my God, everything's broken. They're going to hate me, whatever. Just like, all right, you know what you're doing. Something's wrong. How do we fix it? And I've learned just the biggest way to, have your company succeed is just, work hard and work harder than, everyone around you. Is that Jack and I would pull 90, 100-hour work weeks because we wanted this project to succeed. We knew this was the most leveraged time we had to succeed. So we worked as hard as possible, harder than people around us, and just tried to make this product succeed because we're like, this is our shot. You need to go for it. And that's what I think a lot of people, people get too comfortable. And I think we did get comfortable after we got out of YC and raised money that like, we're like, oh, we have money, we're set for a few years. There's nothing to do. But it's like, you need to consistently be working harder than everybody around you or you're going to be passed. Like one of my friends said, imagine there's two versions of you. There's one that's working harder and there's one that's currently you. You want to be that one that's always working harder than what you could possibly be doing right now. I think we're at a stage that we've been in like a heads down stage, which is basically that we've been just fully working on the product, trying to get new features out and just make our current customers happy. But, next year's basically our, fully launching sales, fully launching growth, fully hiring a lot of new people. And it's very exciting, but at the same time, it's very, stressful and a lot of headaches of, growing pains and just learning new things and, getting frustrated when things aren't working well. But like I said, like you have to be persistent. You're gonna have to keep going even when, it feels like the world's falling apart.
And just like that, with a little bit of time, a lot of passion, and a lot of love, you can go from hating code to being your own CTO, founder, and boss. If you like this video, please be sure to like, subscribe, share, and leave a comment down below. Thank you so much for your time.